Hello, everybody. This is Facing Phantoms, and you're listening to the Whispers Within podcast, the show that discusses all things 863 for people who love Project 863 and the community. Today is episode 2 of reviewing the episode of A Murderer Told Me to Meet Her Here. First thing I want to hit on is the title's sort of weird. I feel like Matthias doesn't title her as a murderer anymore. But, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just did that for the title. But I feel like it's weird of Matthias to title her as a murderer still when he clearly sees other viewpoints and feelings about her now. But we'll get right into the video with first, they have a new cleaning crew, which is really cool and fancy. Apparently, I mean, I haven't heard of a cleaning crew in videos. Maybe they've had a cleaning crew. Maybe they just haven't talked about it, but I'm pretty sure this is our, what would you call it? Our welcoming to, like, more knowledge, I feel like. I feel like Matthias will let us know more things. Like, I feel like Nelson didn't. Nelson sort of kept everything to himself because he's this dark, weird, egotistical madman. That's the word. So then we get to the Deb and the meet-up. So, straight to the point when he gets to the studio, asking people about if they solved the riddle or anything, and how are they going to meet, how are we going to know? We don't know. She gave us very vague descriptions, said that we are golden, which does come in play soon in this episode. I'm not really sure. I don't know. Matthias was just asking people about if they solved the riddle, if they at least tried. Woods didn't try. But, he said he's got more important things like moving and such. Which I feel like he is moving because he is a little creeped out about the ghost knowing where he is. But maybe Wood still thinks it's a ghost. Maybe he doesn't fully think it was Nelson. I'm not too sure. I don't know. And then Matthias gets into sort of the trusting Deb area. Like, do we trust her? Like, why do we trust Deb that she will meet us? Why do we trust... Do you guys trust Deb? Let me know down below. I still haven't looked on Apple or Spotify if there are notes or anything that you can put in. But if there is, let me know down below what you guys' point of view is on Deb. How do you guys perceive her? Do you guys think she's good, bad, in between? Do you think she's on the evil side? Do you think she is an ally in all of this? Who knows? Another major thing. A new Apple II. Matthias mentioned in the, while he was driving to the studio. The new Apple II. I guess they ordered a new Apple II on eBay. eBay. Sorry about that. I guess they ordered a new Apple II on eBay, talked about how it won't get here faster, but it looked like in the next time they were unboxing it, so hopefully we will see that in the next time, and hopefully the outcome of this episode was not true. We'll get into that later, though. And then Sam brings up the term golden, like, how, like, I feel the same way. Sam does completely honestly. I don't believe Deb just randomly put that in there as how she talks. She said it, like, Sam put on how she said it, like, you're golden, type thing. Like, she definitely meant something by that. You could easily tell of how she said that. Now, I personally would never have been able to put that riddle together when they put it on the chalkboard. Never. I would have never been able to even find the road that, the Golden State Road, or Golden Valley Road, that ended at the top of the valley. I would have never, I would have never added up the quarter and the payphone even, which is like the two obvious things I feel like, but they added up everything and they got basically a time from the 3 is better than 1, 3 o'clock, because 3 is greater than 1, so they just took that as 3 o'clock, thinking, when they got there, they thought they missed it, which I was thinking, oh, maybe it was the 1 o'clock, but it seems like it was the 3 o'clock that they got, and then the Golden Valley Road, and then Friends in High Places, the highest point of Golden Valley Road. It's been longer than you think, long down the road. And then Quarter, which goes into a payphone. And that was basically it to the riddle, and they basically knew where to go. If it was me and I had a little bit of that riddle, I probably would have gone to the Golden Arches of McDonald's. That's what I would have thought it would be. But it seems like it wasn't. It was the payphone at that parking lot area. And yeah. So now they're 4 minutes away at this point of us talking. They are 4 minutes away from getting to the meeting point. And it seems like they're all really nervous talking. And the map brings up how asking other people if they really want to meet Deb. I mean, they could have turned around right there. Matt is right. They don't. People make it seem like they have to do this. It keeps following them, but they can shut it down. They can just ignore everything. I mean, that would basically be saying painting the walls red all the way, but they can fully stop this. But as Matthias said, curiosity is over fear. And that's with me too. My curiosity overwhelms my fear all of the time. Like, I have to know what will happen if something happens. There's a book that I'm reading right now, actually. It's called Divergent. And it's about one choice can change everything. So basically, like, curiosity over fear. You don't fear what that one choice will do. You're curious what that one choice will do, if that made sense. Just a little connection out of this in school and stuff. But, then we get the ring. Once they get to the parking lot, stand around, wondering if they made it or not. Try to figure out which car she's in. Sam was definitely in the right of, if she was there, her car would have been that dark, same color red as the Mercury Mountaineer, probably. Or one of those beige cars. But then we get the ring. Ring, ring. Gary Reynolds. We run over there. Matthias runs as fast as he can. Luckily makes it. I thought he honestly wasn't going to make it. And then we were going to have to call Deb and everything. That wouldn't have ended well. But we made it. State your name. What? Like, no. We've gone through way too many people trying to get information off of us, using us for information. It's not going to happen. Matthias was fully in the right of not trusting that guy, but on one thing that guy did say, I feel maybe we should trust him. I'm honestly not completely sure to trust Gary or not of what he said. We'll get into that in a little bit. Oh, 1 second. What happened to this? Somebody on Reddit responded to my comment that made no sense at all. But, okay, so ring ring, Gary Reynolds, state your name. We're not going to trust him. Gary wants the absolute. And apparently Gary questioned Woods, and that's how Gary knows Matt's name. Gary works at the police station, and then immediately tries to change the topic off of that. It was a really odd conversation between those two. But I guess Gary questioned Woods at the police station, and that's how maybe he knows everything. Maybe Woods had to write something down, like company number, all of that stuff. So maybe that's it. But Woods mentioned Matthias's name, and that was how Gary knew Matthias. But I feel like Gary definitely knew Matthias before. Everybody knows everything, apparently, in this, especially Deb. Especially when she's like, everything went how I wanted it to go. Like, how does it go? It doesn't make sense. And then apparently the absolute is government's property. What? Government? I was hoping that's not what Deb meant, as in high places. But I guess we're dealing with the government now. That is not good. We don't want to do that. Gary talks about how they will come for them, shut down their studio. No, Project 863 is still uploading, hopefully, and will still upload, hopefully. And I don't want it to stop uploading. Not a hopefully on that one, but I don't want it to stop uploading, definitely, because then this podcast ends. I know it's only episode 2, but I'm really hoping this podcast works out, because every podcast I've done didn't work out too well, if you were there for those. But Absolate is government's property. And then Matthias refuses to give it back. And this is the moment where I wanted to cry extremely bad. Deborah is deceased. Exact words, Deborah is deceased. I did not see that coming at all. I sorta did, I guess, by thinking that was the sacrifice that she had to make. Was that the sacrifice she had to make, though? Do we know that? We don't, honestly. But I feel like that was the sacrifice she had to make. And that sacrifice was great. She did it for us. She did it for 863. Which, oh my gosh. Getting emotional. Which, I mean, we'll never forget Deb. Deb will always be here with us. We'll always include her on stuff. Deb is the one who led us down this rabbit hole of, like, yes, blame her for leading us down this rabbit hole of mystery, making us do all this, but Deborah, she was a true friend, I believe. Deborah, I don't know if people understand this. Like, Deb haters, sorry, but I don't know if you understand, but somebody died. Like, I see people on Reddit saying we needed her gone and stuff. Like, she kept us going in this. No. Somebody died. It's like with the Syntech experiment survivor, which I want to get into that later, too. It's like with the Syntech experiment survivor. You have to understand somebody died. That is huge for Project 863. The leader, like, I know Double X Phantom, Nelson, whoever played that part, whoever was under that mask, if it was Matthias at the time, he never, it was just, he said that Matthias was the leader, but no, Deborah was the leader of Project 863. She was the person who we looked to. Deborah is important to a lot of this community, and now that little point of guidance is gone. She's gone. It's really hard to comprehend in my mind still, but Deborah has died. She has passed away. Or has she? I don't know. Was he lying? We don't know. We don't know the truth until we see her with our own eyes. Dead or alive. Hopefully not dead. Hopefully alive, honestly. And then Gary Reynolds goes into that they can help each other. No. Gary, I think you're a little silly up there. We will not help you. You just gave us information that broke most of the community in all of this. I mean, probably causing the community to take a break, honestly, because they've gotten this full emotional area with Deb. A lot of people have, I know that. And there's no way that she's dead. I'm just going to say it. But no, we're not going to help Gary. No, we're not going to hand over the Absolate, because we literally can't now. But we're not going to hand over the Absolate and stuff to him, ever. He has no good intention that he can prove, I feel. So, then we move on to we're leaving. They left. They basically decided to head back to the studio. Matthias really wants answers from Gary. He hangs up the phone, get back in the car, heads back to the studio, and who is behind them? A police officer. I'm not sure if this was just a coincidence, or if that was Gary or another government or police employee following them, but that was an odd coincidence after Gary said that they will come for them for the absolute. I don't know, honestly. This all doesn't make sense. Do you guys understand? This doesn't make sense. It's all not adding up. But then we get back to the studio, and what did we all probably expect? Oh, we need to go get the absolute, guys. What always happens? It's gone. The absolute is no longer on the desk where Matthias claims he put it. The absolute is not pushed off the desk as Bailey looks for it, and Matt looks for it. The absolute is not there. Woods goes up to check the vault and everything. It's gone. They sit down, sort of take it all in, it seems like, and then check the Nest cameras. Matthias is looking at the Nest cameras while the three in the back are theorizing about what could have happened to it, even. Honestly, I have no idea. But this is just crazy. And then Matt gets done downloading the Nest camera footage, and what do we find? Oh, the cleaning crew came in just for a little clean. No, maybe to clean up their tracks. The blonde, keep that in mind. The blonde comes in and takes it. While she is spraying down Matthias's desk, she swipes it. She basically picks it up and puts it in her pocket. We watch her put it in her pocket. And Matthias does point out a good point. She does never show her face. There is no angle with her face in it. It is insane. But, you guys ready? Was the person Deb? Did Deb know that she got compromised and know that maybe somebody was going to try to come to the studio and steal it? And maybe she thought somebody was, and she knew Gary was going to call? Or maybe, like, she wanted it for herself for safekeeping, just because the team usually doesn't keep stuff safe too easily. But was it Deb? Deb is a blonde. Deborah is described as a blonde. So, we don't know who took it. I personally believe, and want to believe, Deb was not dead. She is well alive. And Gary Reynolds still thinks we have the absolute. And Deb, we'll get into this theory later and stuff from a Reddit post and stuff. But, yeah. Is Deb actually dead? We don't know. Deb dead? No. No dead Deb. We don't want dead Deb. Dead Deb is not allowed. No. I don't want it. It's honestly just really mind-blowing still. I don't want her gone. But I guess she is. To Gary. I don't know. Maybe he was using it as a metaphor. Deb is deceased. Well, deceased, I guess, couldn't really be a metaphor. I guess dead could. Deb is dead. Like, they can't contact her anymore. Her line is off. I don't know. So now for some theories about this episode. Oh. Was Deb being watched and held These all are my theories. People on Reddit's theories will appear on the screen like you saw in the last episode. If you're on Spotify, you will just hear it. But these are all my theories, and I will announce when Reddit theories come. So, was Deb being watched? Maybe she was held captive. Maybe Gary was listening while Deb was on the phone. Maybe he was in the same room, and Deb couldn't say too much, and that's why she had to talk in a riddle. Maybe Gary was monitoring her. Maybe she was already captured. Maybe that's why she couldn't answer that she was safe, because she wasn't. I don't know. But maybe, I don't know. I mean, time will tell, I suppose, in Deb's words. And another theory is maybe Gary is truthful. Maybe she is Deb. Maybe she, maybe she is dead. Dead Deb. Two similar words. Sorry. Maybe Gary is truthful and Deb is dead, or 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 he just said that to make it seem like they have no hope anymore. There's no chance anymore. They might as well just give up everything they have because they just lost their only ally. Maybe he used that as, I don't know. It's not a leverage because he doesn't have her. This theory, but maybe as a, I don't know what it would be called. Anybody know what it would be called when they lie about something that isn't true just to get you to do something? I'm not too sure. But maybe Deb, moving on to the next theory, did Deb write dominoes will fall, pulling you closer to the truth? The truth that she was gonna die, maybe? Maybe she already knew she was going to die. The truth that she is deceased. She is gone. The truth that we don't see her anymore. I don't know. I mean, hopefully Deb is not dead. Rest in peace, Deb, if you are dead. But Deb will always live on in us. Subject 4. Most of Subject 4. I know that. Moving on to the next theory. Not trying to get emotional again. What does the absolute do? What do you guys think the absolute do? I feel like it emits a weird amount of energy that keeps you looped in to Nelson's spell, Deb has put it, under Nelson's little, I don't know, taking over spell. I feel, maybe, what do you guys think the absolute does? Leave it down in the comments or notes or whatever's on Spotify and Apple Music if there is something. I really need to look. And let me know what you think the absolute exactly does and why it's such a big player in all of this. It doesn't seem like a big player, but it is. The government owns it. It has to be a big player. Am I wrong? I don't know. We'll see probably soon enough. Now going back to the lady stealing the absolute, was she even a part of the crew too? There's a theory that sort of proves this also. But was she even a part of the whole entire crew? Or did she just act like she was a new hire on and got there with them? That's really concerning that she got past security stuff and stuff and stuff and stuff. I don't know why I just said and stuff 2 times. Security stuff, but or maybe she just arrived saying they sent me in late. I don't know. It was really weird though how a cleaning crew in quotes stole the absolute. I feel like they wouldn't even know what's going on. But it is Syntech. Syntech is everywhere. Syntech is listening. Sorry. But, yeah. I don't know. And now going back into what Deb said. Was this the sacrifice she was talking about? Meeting them? She didn't even get to meet them, but was this the sacrifice? Her dying? Did she sacrifice herself for the greater good? I mean, for all the people who hate on Deb, that's a pretty good person if you're sacrificing yourself for the greater good. Honestly. I'm still a little mind blown from all of it, but Deb is, yeah. Deb's dead, as we know of. Sorry. I myself had an emotional area with Deb. But it's a major player in all of this, and I don't know. I feel like everybody's overthinking that she's dead and everything. But maybe she isn't. Maybe she isn't. Maybe she just went into hiding again. I don't know. Nobody knows. Was this the sacrifice that Deb was talking about? We don't know. Literally, we don't know. So now, for all of you Spotify and Apple Podcast and people on other platforms except YouTube listeners, we are now getting into the Reddit area. So, Our first Reddit theory is, who is the woman that has been appearing in the videos? She appeared in the first video back from season 4. No, the first video of season 4. And she also appeared in the latest video, as you see on the image on screen. Who is she? It honestly doesn't make sense. There was another picture that went along with this. She was also in the background of this shot with Chanel and everybody there. Who is she? She fits the description of the cleaning crew person who stole it. And I don't know. Her little yellow looking bag that she's holding in the bottom image, it's just sus to me. I don't know why. Sus. Bum bum. But I don't know. Honestly. That's a theory. It's a good one. I mean, that's a good thing to point out. Like, there has been a lady matching that description showing up. But I'm just hoping it wasn't her. Who posted this? It was The Dreamer 18. TheDreamer 18. The Dreamer 18 on Reddit. If you want to go check them out, give them a follow. They're the one who provided this theory. And now moving on to the next theory, the last theory of the episode. We usually only do 2 Reddit theories, if you're wondering. There might be 1 or 3 or 4 or 5 at some points, but it's usually basically 2. Now the next theory, by Brecken 2010, BRECKYN 2010 on Reddit. Go give them a follow too. I don't know what it's called on Reddit. I think it's following or just become friends. I don't know. Go give them a whatever. Give them a like on this post and give them a comment. I'm not too sure how to say it, but the color of their uniforms are different. The girls is blue, and the others are dark green or black, it looks like to me, sort of. They are completely right, and I completely see this. They are 2 different colors. I'm gonna have to watch some footage back again, like from when it was in the office, but they look 2 different colors. Does this proving that she wasn't even a part of the cleaning crew? Like, that is insane. Honestly. Well, if it is her, if it is that, well, we know it's her, but if it is that, she didn't do a good job about being in disguise in the cleaning crew. I'm surprised the cleaning crew person didn't even mention that, to be completely honest with you. But I guess they just assumed she was. Just, if they were in the world of Syntech, don't assume. Just immediately go to the point of, you are Syntech. I know, I have found you out. That's what you need to do nowadays in this world. Well, I thank you all for listening to episode 2 of the podcast. I believe I'm going to title this episode... Let's come up with a title real quick. I'm going to title this episode... What else? Who did they meet? I'm going to title this episode, It Was the Latter. It Was the Latter. You will see it titled, It Was the Latter. Episode 2, It Was the Latter. And I'm actually hoping that next week we will have a Minecraft night where you guys can come to stream and give me a prompt to build. I'm pretty sure today, I'm sorry for the late announcement, but today will be the official announcement on some servers that this podcast is a thing now. It does have videos up on it, and you can go watch them. Hopefully, you guys subscribe, give me a follow on Spotify. I'm not sure how you say that. Give it a like, or whatever you do on Spotify too. And I thank you all for watching, and I'm not too sure what I would say remember to breathe, but that's not anymore. I would say look closer, but that's not anymore. What should we leave in the comments below too? What should we start saying at the end of the video? Because last video I didn't know. What could we say? Look out for subject 4 in my stead. Hope to speak to you again soon, old friend. Facing Phantoms.